The earliest recorded writings found in known history include the Sumerian Kesh Temple Hymn, dated back to 2600 BC, Egyptian pyramid texts dated back to 2400 BC, the Mesopotamian Epic of Gilgamesh, dated to 2100 BC, and the Indian Rig Veda, first written down in 1500 BC, but orally passed down for generations prior. All four of these most ancient scriptures feature passages describing their views on cosmology, and all of them are strikingly similar, detailing a geocentric, motionless, flat Earth encircled by a great ocean, covered and enclosed by a heavenly firmament, containing the sun, moon, and stars, which all revolve over and around the Earth. In the Kesh Temple Hymn, there is a three-tiered cosmology, with Earth at the center, the heavens above, and primordial waters below, known as the Abzu. Earth is said to be fixed upon the Abzu, with a mythical central temple axis, quote, reaching up to the great true house in the heavens. Ancient Egyptian pyramid texts describe a personified flat Earth named Geb, separated by the air god Shu from the arched body of the starry sky goddess Nut. Their three-tiered cosmology also featured Earth at the center, with heavens above and an underworld below. The sun god Ra travels over the Earth, with pyramid text utterance 262 stating, Ra rises in the eastern horizon and sets in the western horizon. The Earth is always depicted as flat, with the sky shown as a curved arch covering and enclosing the land beneath. In the Epic of Gilgamesh, Earth is once again a fixed, flat, disc-shaped Earth, surrounded by cosmic waters, covered by a solid sky, with the sun, moon, and stars moving over and above. Tablet 1 states that Gilgamesh wandered far and wide to the edge of the world. Tablet 9 speaks of the rising, setting, and motions of the sun over the Earth. Nowhere in the Epic of Gilgamesh, Egyptian pyramid texts, or Kesh Temple Hymn is there any mention of a heliocentric spinning globe Earth floating in an infinite vacuum of space. The Indian Rig Veda describes Earth as a vast and spread out land with four corners, while another Vedic text, claimed to originally be orally transmitted since before 3000 BC, the Srimad Bhagavatam, provides much more detail. This Vedic scripture calls our Earth Jambudweep, a central island floating on and surrounded by a vast salt ocean. The Earth is described as being round like the leaf of a lotus flower, with our Earth Island being only one of many other much larger islands beyond the Antarctic. The larger world is called Bhumandala and is compared to the whorl of a lotus flower, which is also flat and circular. The word mandala itself also means circle, wheel, or disk. Much like Atlantis, which was claimed to be composed of 3 concentric rings of land and water, Bhumandala is said to be composed of 7 concentric rings of land and water, where each circle of land is surrounded by an ocean the same size as the island. There has been much speculation about what may exist south of the South Pole, and it's very intriguing that one of the most ancient scriptures known to mankind suggests the answer may be many unexplored further lands. The Srimad Bhagavatam describes the first 2 rings of land and the first ring of water in a way that corresponds with early world maps. Cantos 5:19 states that 8 smaller islands surround Jambudweep, and when we look at older world maps from before the Antarctic was fully covered in snow and ice, such as the 1587 Urbano Monti, we can see there are 8 distinct lands that constitute the Antarctic Circle. So when the lands of Antarctica are without ice, they are actually divided into 8 islands, which is just as claimed by the Vedas. At the center of Jambudweep stands Mount Meru, or Sumeru, the primordial world mountain, which, interestingly enough, also appears in early cartography from the same time period. Gerard Mercator's 1595 North Pole map, published just 8 years after Urbano Monti's world map, shows a central magnetic black rock mountain it calls Rupus Nigra, which fits descriptions of Mount Meru. The Bhagavatam also makes mention of Bugala, which means globe or sphere, and has been used by Hindu heliocentrists to suggest the Vedas claims Earth is globular. But Bhugola refers to the entire universe, the cosmic egg, inside which we reside on the central plane of Bhumandala and Jambudweep, not randomly stuck all around the outside of a globe. Additionally, the Vedas give detailed descriptions of the Navagraha, the 9 circulating celestial bodies, including the Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Rahu, and Ketu, claimed to compose the cosmos, and Earth is not among them. The supposed third rock from the Sun is not one of the Navagraha, and is clearly seen as the foundation from which they are observed, the flat land under which they all revolve. The Srimad Bhagavatam 5.21.3 states, "The most opulent sun, the king of all planets that emanate heat, while passing toward the north, toward the south, or through the equator, in accordance with the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it is said to move slowly, swiftly, or moderately, according to its movements in rising above, going beneath, or passing through the equator, and correspondingly coming in touch with various signs of the Zodiac, headed by Makara, Capricorn. Days and nights are short, long, or equal to one another." This is a precise description of how the mechanics of the circling sun operate over a stationary flat Earth. As the sun moves in its annual journey from solstice to solstice, beginning at the Tropic of Capricorn, steadily moving toward the equator at the equinox, then continuing to the Tropic of Cancer, the sun adjusts its speed accordingly to maintain a 24-hour cycle regardless of the current latitude. At winter solstice, the farthest south, it travels fastest. At the equinoxes in the middle, it travels a moderate speed, and at summer solstice, the farthest north, it travels slowest, just as the Bhagavatam states. While passing toward the north, toward the south, or through the equator, it moves slowly, swiftly, or moderately. Cantos 5.21, 4, and 5 go into even more precise detail, stating, "When the sun passes through Mesa, Aries, and Tula, Libra, the durations of day and night are equal. When it passes through the 5 signs headed by Vrisabha, Taurus, the duration of the days increases until Cancer, and then it gradually decreases by half an hour each month, until day and night again become equal in Libra. When the sun passes through the 5 signs, beginning with Vrishika, Scorpio, the duration of the days decreases until Capricorn, and then gradually it increases month after month until day and night become equal in Aries." The Bhagavatam also makes some very interesting claims regarding eclipses and the moon's phases. Vedic cosmology suggests there exists another celestial body tracing similar paths as the sun and moon, which it calls Rahu, the black sun, or the black moon. Rahu is a translucent dark body, which revolves at a lower altitude than the sun and moon, allowing it, from certain vantage points at certain times, to completely eclipse them. The new moon every month, when the moon completely disappears from view for over 24 hours, along with the waxing and waning phases where its light appears covered, could also be explained by occlusion of this third dark body. If Rahu traces a similar path as the moon, making one pass to fully cover the moon in 2 weeks, then progressing further past the moon for another 2 weeks, that motion could create the waxing and waning phases. Likewise, the new moon and full moon phases would be when Rahu completely covers and completely moves away from the moon respectively. The exact mechanics and workings of the celestial bodies unfortunately remain beyond the bounds of the physical sciences, as we cannot travel to confirm or deny our assumptions about them, just as most cannot freely travel past the Antarctic to confirm or deny speculations and hearsay about potential extra lands beyond. But it is certainly interesting and intriguing to note what these most ancient scriptures had to say about the shape and structure of the earth and the universe. Ancient Sumeria, Mesopotamia, Egypt, and India, along with literally every other ancient culture, had a similar cosmology, featuring a geocentric, motionless earth plane.